Headline: The CDC is now talking about giving measles, mumps, and rubella as separate shots instead of the combined MMR. This is exactly what Dr. Andrew Wakefield called for at the end of the last century. He lost his license for making that suggestion. Hello, this is Dr. K. Paul Stoller, and even though it sounds simple to separate the MMR, behind that idea is a tangle of science, manufacturing, law, and time. Here's what would actually need to happen. First, some history. Single antigen measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines did exist in the past. The combined MMR became the routine approach decades ago because one shot is easier for clinics and families, but most importantly, it gave Merck a monopoly on those vaccines. But they had to fudge the efficacy of the mumps component, which was not efficacious at all. No one held them accountable for that snafu, as is often said. The rules are for thee, but not for me. Bottom line, separate, monovalent formulations were produced historically, and in theory, they could be produced again. So, could manufacturers just retool a plant and restart the old single vaccines? The short answer, not overnight. Vaccines are biologicals messy, grown in cells, and tightly regulated. Even if the same company once made a monovalent product, bringing it back involves more than flipping a switch. Regulators will need evidence that the new lots are safe, potent, and consistent. What exactly would regulators ask for? Expect a multi-part package. Validated manufacturing processes under modern, good manufacturing practice. Stability and sterility testing, potency assays, batch release data, and biochemical characterization. If the manufacturing process or formulation differs from the old product, which it almost certainly would, regulators typically ask for bridging data to show the new version behaves like the original. That can include animal studies and, in some cases, human immunogenicity or safety studies. Timeline: realistically, reestablishing production, running required tests, and gaining approvals could take years, often several, not months. Why so long? Labs must validate assays, stability studies require time, regulators need to review evidence, and manufacturers need to scale up production while meeting strict quality controls. There are also practical and market realities. Making several single vaccines instead of one combination increases logistics, more inventory, more clinic visits, and potentially higher costs. Manufacturers need financial incentive to invest in retooling. And if only a few countries or regions want separate shots, manufacturers may find it hard to justify the expense. So where does this leave us? A CDC call to separate MMR is technically possible, but it's not a quick fix. It's a policy choice that triggers scientific work, regulatory review, manufacturing change, and cost considerations. If society decides this is important, the path is clear, but it will require time, money, and authoritative oversight. Bottom line, not impossible, but not simple. If you care about this issue, ask policymakers how they'll fund the science and the safeguards that must come first, because they have never come first before. In fact, when it came to safety studies, said studies essentially never existed.